All right, let's cut through all the hype around AI. We're not going to talk about the next big shiny model or some flashy new tool, no. We're going to get real and dive into the operational reality that leaders are actually facing, and what's really going to matter as we head into 2026.
And this quote, it just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? That initial wow factor, all the excitement, it's giving way to a much tougher, more pointed question. After years of demos and pilot projects, the C-suite is looking at the balance sheet and asking, so, where's the value you promised? The pressure is definitely on.
And that leads us straight into our first big trend. The AI honeymoon is officially over. That whole era of just experimenting for the sake of it, where pretty much any AI project was a good project, yeah, that's done. Now the demand is for tangible results, a clear return on investment, and maybe the most important thing of all, control.
So what's at the heart of this? Well, here's the fundamental problem. Everyone rushed to adopt AI. They spun up countless pilots and proofs of concept. But their internal processes, their governance, their basic operating models just couldn't keep up. And this has created this really widespread issue that people are calling pilot purgatory.
This is the million-dollar question, right? What separates the companies that are actually getting value from AI from all the others who are just stuck spinning their wheels in pilot purgatory? And I'll give you a hint. It has almost nothing to do with having better or fancier technology. The answer is all about making some really fundamental shifts in how they think about and manage AI.
Which brings us to our second trend, and this covers that first huge operational shift, thinking about AI not as a project, but as a core capability. And this might be the single most important mindset change we're going to talk about.
For so long, AI has been treated like this special temporary thing on the side. But the new model, the one that works, treats AI just like cybersecurity or the cloud. It's not a one-off project you do. It's a permanent capability you have to operate day in and day out as a reliable part of the business itself.
Do any of these sound a little familiar? These are the classic signs of an organization that's still stuck in that old project mindset. That last one is the real killer, right? Value that looks amazing in a PowerPoint demo but somehow never actually shows up on the bottom line. That's a dead giveaway that AI isn't really integrated into the business.
And this quote just perfectly captures that shift in thinking. The strategic conversation isn't about chasing the next shiny object anymore. It's about building the boring but absolutely essential plumbing to make AI a durable, trustworthy part of the company. These are operating questions, not just innovation questions. This new focus on operations leads us right into our third trend, which is all about a massive pivot happening in the boardroom. The conversation has shifted from, can we do this, to, can we control this?
I mean, think about it. Just a couple of years ago, the big question for the board was, is this even possible with AI? But now, everyone's seen what's possible, so the question is changed. Now it's, okay, great, but can we control it? They need to know that as AI gets bigger and more powerful, the organization isn't going to lose its grip.
And it's really important to see this for what it is. This isn't about being scared or trying to slow down innovation. Not at all. It's a sign of maturity. It means AI is finally being taken seriously enough to be held to the same standards as any other critical part of the business.
So the questions boards are asking are getting way more specific and operational. You can see it right here. They're asking about risk, about human oversight, about warning signs. They want to know exactly who has the authority to hit the brakes before something goes wrong.
Okay, trend number 4. This one is huge. It's all about how we measure success. The old ways of calculating the return on investment for AI, they just don't work anymore. We have to start talking about outcomes, not outputs.
For the longest time, we measured AI's value with these really technical metrics. Things like model accuracy. They're important for sure, but they're outputs. Think of it like this. An output tells you the engine is running perfectly. An outcome tells you if the car actually won the race. See the difference?
So by 2026, the entire conversation has shifted to outcomes. The board wants to know how AI actually moved the needle on real business results. Did we make better decisions, faster? Did we actually lower the cost to serve our customers? This is the new gold standard for proving that your AI investment is paying off.
And that brings us to our fifth and final trend, which honestly might be the most important one. It's all about the human side of this equation. Because what we're learning is that the biggest roadblocks to AI success aren't technological anymore. They're about us.
Now this is such a critical insight.
As we start using more autonomous AI, these so-called agentic systems, we're discovering they don't really create new problems. What they do is act like a giant stress test that brutally exposes all the cracks that were already there in our processes and our culture.
And because of that, smart leaders understand that autonomy has to be earned, not just switched on. You have to climb this ladder deliberately. You start with the AI just making recommendations. Then you move from having a human in the loop on every single decision to having a human on the loop just supervising, until you eventually get to a place of safe, controlled, bounded autonomy.
Which leads us to the final, unavoidable truth. After all the tech is built, all the data is clean, and all the governance is in place, the ultimate bottleneck is human. It always comes down to adoption and trust. You know, whenever AI adoption stalls, it's so easy to blame people for being resistant to change, but that's rarely the real issue. The real issue is a failure of leadership to provide crystal clear rules of engagement. If people don't know the answers to these questions, of course they're going to be hesitant. You would be too.
So, when you pull all 5 of these trends together, when you look at the whole picture, what does it all add up to? Well, it points to a new baseline for success with AI. And it all boils down to one simple word.
Discipline. That's the new watchword. It's this combination of things: the ability to operate AI like a professional, core part of your business, to govern it proactively, to measure it based on real business outcomes, and to design systems that your people can actually trust and use effectively.
And that right there is the core message for 2026. Every company has AI ambition now. That's the easy part. But it's only the ones with the operational discipline to actually execute on that ambition that are going to pull ahead. It's the big shift from just dreaming about AI to actually doing it right.
So we'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. Take a really hard, honest look at your own organization. Is it truly built to operate AI as a core, durable capability for the long haul? Or is it still just built to run endless pilots? The answer to that question is probably going to determine your success in this new era of AI.